Hey guys, welcome to the Wolfpack podcast. We're here. We have a couple of topics today we're going to talk about. One of them is relationship red flags, as well as the second one will be adding value to a relationship. We're going to try to hit both sides for the guys and for the females as well. What do you think?
Yeah, so we don't ever want the girls to ever feel left out. So one of us will give the man point of view, the other will be the female perspective as far as what we think we should be doing for our female counterparts out there. So
yeah, absolutely.
I think that that we're going to take the male empowerment approach to everything, but again, we won't leave the ladies out because this is just as important to you guys as it is to us. So
yeah, so we're not going to take a chauvinistic approach. We're more of a this is the way guys should be. This is the kind of like a biblical sense, of our roles as men. Again, without leaving the women out. We don't have we're not the female perspective, but we know what kind of guys we would want for our daughters, type of deal, I guess.
Exactly.
So yeah, you're not going to just get the one-sided chauvinistic approach or opinion when it comes to the topics that we discuss here. But jumping right in, so relationship red flags, Aaron. I know you've got a few that you wanted to discuss. And
I have quite a few. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I
think just going through being a male, and nowadays I feel. Obviously I don't know what it was like before because I wasn't of age back then, back in the day, right? But
sure.
Now things I feel like are just so convoluted. Everything is just so hard when it comes to dating. The thing is that I personally made a bunch of mistakes, right? When trying to find somebody to be with, gone through multiple relationships. One of the biggest ones I know that I did was like, you're a guy. Instagram has so many photos and pictures of females. You can sit there all day long and everybody's like almost trying to compete with one another, right?
Sure,
one
yeah.
female puts one picture up, another one's going to put another one to kind of top it. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like a psychological thing, right? So as a male, you see this hot girl with all these hot pictures, right, on her Instagram. If
I haven't noticed actually.
If they are half naked, dude, and they're trying to get male attention, that is one absolute red flag. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some that are swimsuit models. There's some that are
it's job,
personal
right?
trainers,
Yeah,
fitness. That's what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
But if they're none of that, dude, they're just trying to get male attention. That is one of the biggest red flags ever. Not only is it a red flag, it creates a lot of issues and problems when it comes to being in a relationship with that person, dude.
Well, okay, so that makes perfect sense because again, one of the narcissistic traits, of a human being is that they're constantly seeking out attention.
Sure.
And no matter whether you are giving her 100% of your attention, affection, time, everything,
Yeah.
and if it's not enough, and they're having to constantly post, like you said, half-naked pictures, and let's just say, for example, she's a clerk somewhere, or she's a nurse, or whatever. There's really no reason, unless she's showing off her outfit for the night. But I've seen some of these females that have, they change their profile pics like if they're changing clothes. And they've got hundreds of likes, and that's good for you guys. We're not saying that's necessarily bad, but when it comes to a relationship, like you said, that for me personally is a red flag.
Sure,
Because then not that I'm an insecure guy, but you have to look back and read all the comments, and they're all vague. They're all the same generic comment. Oh, you're hot. Oh, you're good. And sometimes if you look at the same guy. Because I know on my feed, I have the same guys as friends, and they'll say the same thing to like 10 different chicks.
Everybody. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I have one on mine too.
Okay.
I'm like, what?
So red flag number one.
Yeah.
Obsessive posting of selfies and sexy, provocative pictures.
Even if you look under their tags on their pictures, man, some of them, and that's like a definite red flag. Mm-hmm. Who's going to come lay with me or who's going to do this or some kind of just inappropriate shit like that.
Yeah.
Dude, that's an absolute red flag. Why is a guy, and guys, the thing about guys is that we want to be with the hottest girl. Well, not all guys, right? But for a majority, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to see this. They're going to want that hunt, right? Because as young men, our first hunt is a girlfriend, dude. Okay. As a hustler, as a businessman, we're trying to convince these girls to get with us, right? That's what we do. That's how we start. So seeing this, it's a challenge. And we're hunters. We're hunters by nature. That's just that's in our roots, right? So we see this hot girl. with all these pictures, we're not thinking like, well, shit, could she actually be wifey material? You know what I'm saying? We're just thinking about what we want to do with
You
her.
know, we're thinking, oh, she'd look really nice on my arm. You know, when I go to the next event, the next
Right.
gala, the next, you know, us as businessmen, you know, the next outing, you know, she'd look really nice. You know,
Exactly.
as a trophy wife. That's actually where the term trophy wife came from, right? So okay, yeah, I get that.
And then so you get to them, and then they figure out they can't even put a sentence together, or you can't have an
Oh,
intelligent
They can't
conversation.
read a book.
That
Yeah,
is-
they can't read
yeah.
humor. There's something else going to be wrong. They're great on the outside, but a
I'm
mess
like, I
on
don't
the
care how
inside.
you look. Just read a part of a book to me. Just read one
Yes.
chapter. I don't care what
Right.
book it is.
See, okay, because ladies, look, hey, these are, and I'm not the best looking guy in the world, but I am a man of value.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this: your beauty can only take you so far. Don't bank on that. Like you have to understand that, like the guy said, you know, holding a conversation with a man of value, a man of prestige. You know, you're gonna want to be able to hold a conversation, because I personally have ended relationships because of the fact that, you know, 2 weeks later, I'm looking at this beautiful girl. I'm not even attracted to her.
With no substance.
Yeah, there's
man.
no substance. There's nothing there. No depth to the person. There's no character. And at the end, like I said, at the end of the day, a hot chick is a hot chick. That's good. And she looks good on the Instagram. She looks good on the social media. She looks good around my arm. But I'm sitting there with pretty much an empty shell of a
Exactly.
human being. No offense. I mean, we're gonna speak our minds, but you know, and there's guys like that out there. There's male bimbos, you know, bimbos, and the guys are out there. They have no substance. You know, they work out all the time. You know, look at this guy. This guy's a really good looking specimen, but he can carry a conversation.
specimen now.
Yeah, a hunk of a man. You know, but he can carry conversation. You know, he's well rounded. He's talented. He's artistic. You know, same thing for, like I said, for guys and girls. You know, we're not just ragging on the women. There's guys out there that have to post, you know, 60 selfies a week in order to feel to affirm themselves and to feel validated, you know, by the opposite sex.
I know that if I saw a woman who was constantly posting selfies of themselves, like I have a friend of mine on Facebook.
Speaking for a friend.
A friend of a friend
Yeah.
has a friend on Facebook who I've seen. They actually post. I actually counted one time. Went back a month. She posted 50 pictures of herself in 1 month. And I was like, so, and they on all the comments said the same thing. Oh, you're beautiful. Oh, somebody needs to wife you up. You know, all these compliments, and that's all they're doing is fishing for those compliments. But I always think, like, when is that going to be enough? Like those words are going to be not mean anything when somebody real comes along and tries to tell you that stuff.
Yeah, because they've heard it all.
Yeah,
They've heard it.
exactly.
And see, see, we've always said social media is a dual-edged sword, right?
Right.
A double-edged sword. So it's great because you get yourself out there, but at the same time, it kind of numbs us to the affection and the attention that we get from that one person. Because, look, you can be giving a girl attention all day long. All of us, we can be giving the one girl that we think is the one attention all day long, but she's got about 20 guys in her DMs.
Right.
And if she's constantly posting selfies like that, or provocative pictures, or even provocative memes, you know, again, that's another red flag.
Yeah.
If she's constantly doing that, well, that's drawing a ton of attention, and you see the floodgates are just opened
yeah.
up, and these guys are just in their DMs all day long. And it's only a matter of time before, you know, the right guy, you know, or the wrong guy in our case, penetrates the walls, you know, and kind of gets in there and, you know, does some damage.
So the next red flag I have is a little more kind of when you're actually in the relationship, you're already kind of gone along maybe about a month or 2 months, you know, and we're talking from the ideology of a man of purpose, right? A successful man. We're not leaving anybody else out. You know, you could be a successful man and be doing anything, right? It doesn't matter what you do as far as you're living or for a career, right? But we're talking about men of purpose, men who are really trying to take it to that next level, really trying to succeed, you know, to have the wealth, to have the riches, to, you know, have the abundance, right? Not only with money, but spiritually and mentally, you know, and physically too, right? So when we're talking, that's what we're going towards. So when you're already in like a month or 2 months into the relationship and she's constantly trying to check your phone. Or, you know, I've had where I'm on my phone and she's sitting next to me, dude, and she's like She's like kind of trying to do this. You got to
Red
have
flag, yeah.
absolute trust.
So like an
with this
insecurity.
person, yeah,
Yeah,
insecurity,
insecurity,
or
yeah.
constantly like, dude, where are you at? Or FaceTiming you just to make sure like your surroundings are
Oh,
where
yeah.
you're at.
I couldn't do
And
that.
now with iPhones and now with all that coming up, that's one thing, dude. I'm like, if we're starting to talk like that and you're trying to FaceTime me and I know it's because you're trying to see where I'm at, I'm gonna
Okay,
block
so
you,
for
dude.
sure, I'm the same way. Look, I'm in a million places all the time. I don't have time to say I'm here, I'm there. I just got here, I'm leaving, I'm
Right,
doing. I don't have time for this.
It's going like
I've been
this.
in relationships, toxic relationships before, where it's like text me when you get there, text me when you leave,
Yeah,
text me,
yep.
during the time. I'm gonna call you. Just no,
Right.
I'm like right off the bat. If I'm the kind of guy you have to check up on, I'm not the kind of guy for you.
Yep.
Odds are because I'm a very loyal person, and I know guys say that crap all the time, but I mean it. I am a very loyal person. If we and I are exclusive, that's it. It's just you and I, right? But I don't want someone to be so toxic because that is toxic. It's a poison.
Yeah.
I do not want someone to just constantly, well, where you at? What are you doing? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to just plan my day and not tell my significant other where I'm at. I might say, hey, you know what? Good morning. I'm going to work or whatever, little things like that. But I'm not doing that shit all day long every day because
No.
that's for the birds.
Yeah, because I think you just do it out of courtesy.
Yeah.
Respect. It's
just out of
it's
respect.
respect for your
Respect,
relationship.
yeah.
Just to
Both, yeah.
You don't want to go the whole day without talking to them, but at the same time, you don't have to know where you're at every 5 minutes. You know, you don't need to check in. I've been in relationships with like that where women have said, "Where are you?" And I even had one try to tell me, "Send me a picture." I'm not sending pictures. I'm
No
not
way.
doing any of that.
So red flag, right
That's
there.
a huge red
Yeah,
flag.
Huge red flag.
So
yeah.
I'm definitely
That's actually a
not
deal breaker for me.
sending pictures, like if they're asking for
Yeah,
pictures.
for
and stuff.
it's excessively, wanting to know what I'm doing, where I'm at, who I'm with. No.
Yeah, because I think that cuts into not only cuts into your time, but it cuts into a good time. If you're having a good time with your boys, if you're hanging out, you don't want to
Oh,
constantly
dude,
have a good time at
pisses
church.
me. That pisses me
Yeah,
off.
where I'm,
dude.
Yeah.
where I'm at.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Or you know what? You know what? Another one is location, right? With iPhone, you can share your location with somebody.
I'm not doing
If you're
that shit.
sharing your location with your significant other,
Yeah.
dude, you don't need to be in that relationship.
Yeah.
Like that is just
The only one that knows
much.
where I'm at is me and the Chinese hackers.
Me and
'cause
the
he doesn't
Lord,
know
that's
where
it.
we're all at.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he's with me all the time. So yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
for sure.
No, and what happens is that doubt, that insecurity that person has will only get worse. And I'm telling you from experience,
Oh, yeah.
it's
I've
never
been
going to
there.
get better. It doesn't matter. And this goes perfectly with the whole. You're talking about you're giving the guy perspective on red flags, right? Or well, for females, right? Guys never, and it's just like the woman that continuously gets picked on, beaten on by her boyfriend, little by little by little by little by little, and it continues to get worse until it just shit hits the fan, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with females. They're going to continue to pick. They're going to want a little bit more. They're going to want a little bit more, want a little bit more. And it's just like this super cloud of insecurities. And being in a relationship like that is just fucking miserable.
Well, it's draining.
It's draining.
very
It's
draining.
Majorly draining. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, another red flag: insecurities. Tracking your locations. I know that there's apps like that. I don't mess with those. I just won't even introduce them into my life.
Yeah.
There's a multitude of red flags, and I think individuals and people know them as they're coming up.
Sure.
They just choose not to pay attention to them.
Well, it's like that meme.
Everybody wants to be loved, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing that we all want, love and we want attention, right? We're human beings, and that's we're kind of engineered that way. But a lot of times we mistake love and attention, for that negative attention. The negative attention is not good.
No.
I mean, you can literally drink bleach, but it's not good for you,
Sure.
right? Just because it's clear. And liquid doesn't mean you're going to drink it. Same thing with a toxic relationship. If you want your relationships to last, and you want someone to to really say, this is my person, like we this is my godsend. You got to be able to treat them right. And ladies, look, we've kind of given the male perspective as to the red flags that we don't like to see. A lot of it's personal experience,
There's
right?
just a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for me, a red flag on a female is maybe different for other people. Like I said, I don't want just the good looking face. I don't want someone that's gonna cook, clean, and wash and do all that stuff for me either. But I do want an actual partner. So if this person doesn't have any kind of goals that's a red flag for me. I don't want that, you know. But I'm gonna
Goals,
tell
I
you,
like that.
I'll tell you what, you know, I'm gonna jump into the things that ladies you need to look out when it comes to guys. And I have my cue cards here because these are really good. I believe I put a lot of time into thinking about these. So one of them, and this is my 10. Okay, these are my 10 red flags when it comes to dating a man, ladies. Okay, and these are actually pretty good. As a mentor, I try to teach my mentees, my proteges, to not be this kind of guy. Okay, I've got a few of my mentees in here. There's a few from a few of them out there, you know, watching the show, and they can all tell you right now. I tell them all day long about these things. Number one is if he has no purpose or mission in life. Okay, if the guy doesn't have any intention on finding a purpose or a mission, and he literally has no plan, that's a red flag. Okay,
Okay.
So
Huge,
smoking weed and playing video games all day long, that doesn't count.
and not unless it's your day off and you've busted your ass all week and you've deserved the right.
Here's
to
the
do
problem
that.
with that, though, is that kids nowadays, because of the time that we're in, you know, there's 25-year-olds out there who are still playing video games, smoking weed, thinking they're being productive.
Yeah.
Now, they'll even make the excuse that, well, I can make money off playing video games.
But
And I
are
can do
you,
it.
is
But
my
are
question.
you?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say that all day.
Sure.
But if you're not doing it, there's no point. I don't need for you to practice because that's not bringing in money. That's not bringing in,
Yeah.
you know, that's not going to feed our family.
Yeah.
And I think that's just the time that we're in. I think it's the coddling, I guess you could say.
Well, okay,
of
so
today's generation.
Yeah. So here's the thing about this generation of men. Because I use that word, that term
Yeah,
lightly. I hate to be that
so
guy, but I use it lightly when it comes to this generation. A lot of them, and no offense to the single moms out there, you did a great job, but a lot of them were raised by the mom.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
There was no positive male role model to kind of bust their ass a little bit, you know, tug them along and say, hey, this is what you do and this is what you don't do as a man. You know, they raised them as best as they could. Now, this is why we have a surge in female empowerment. The females are super strong, and I love that. You know, I love that our female counterparts are out there kicking ass. I love it, and I applaud them. I've got $2 of my own, and they're ass kickers, and I fucking love that because to me, it's this way. This is a dog-eat-dog world. Whether you're male or female, you got to get yours, right? If not, someone else is going to take it. But the problem is, his mom was so busy trying to do everything for Mijo, you know, the son, that and she's got to work, she's got school, she's got all these things that she's trying to balance. It was a lot easier for her just to do it herself instead of trying to teach him how to do it and have to hear all the complaining, blah, blah, blah. Not only that, but mom coddles the son and it's hard on the girl because why? Because look, the world dealt mom a hard card and she's having to live with that every single day. So she's literally raising her daughter to the standards that she's at because one day if she's by herself, she's going to have to be an ass kicker too, like mom. But when it comes to the son, she's taking care of him, right? So my next red flag is that he's indecisive and can't keep his word.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Integrity is huge when you're in a
Yeah, for
relationship.
sure. Or the indecisive, that meaning like, well, what do you want to eat? Well, what do you want to do? Well, I don't know what to wear. Well, what do I do? Well, what do you think? What's your opinion?
Women like a man that takes charge.
Fuck
man.
yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they love us.
Yeah, that's
You know, because I'm the kind of guy like, hey, I'm gonna pick you up at 8:00. Be ready. We're gonna go eat sushi. We're gonna go. A good man knows what
Yeah,
his woman likes, right? And you know, maybe we haven't had sushi in 2 weeks or 3 months or whatever, and my girl loves sushi. Okay, well then I know it's sushi time. I'm gonna pick you up on Friday night. We're gonna go have some sushi. Or I may know that my girl busts ass all week long, and on Friday she just wants to stay home. I'll call her up. Hey, I'm gonna bring home some food. We'll watch a movie and we'll Netflix and chill, right? Because that's a good thing to do on a Friday night.
Right.
Okay. But again, be decisive. And if I say I'm going to pick you up at 8, I'm not going to show up at 8:30 or 9:00 because I'm going to keep my word.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, don't get me wrong. If I say sushi Friday and all of a sudden we're driving and we're like, hey, you know what? Let's go have some Mexican instead. Well, that's different, right? That's a different thing.
yeah.
I think that being indecisive can, if you guys are going back and forth about what do you want, which is even, it's comical nowadays. You know, they even make memes about it, you know, and TikToks about it. And really, I think that if a woman really wanted to
Be in charge of everything.
be in charge, if they wanted to be in charge, they would let you know. Like if you would call somebody and they said, if you told them, hey, be ready by 8, well, I'm not going to be ready till 8:30.
Yeah.
then you're okay with
Yeah,
that.
because
It's not a big
you're
deal.
already at least setting some kind of a time frame
Exactly.
to where, okay, this is more or less the time we're going to go.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So I think it's important that that you guys respect each other enough to be able to like she's not afraid to go, well, no, I won't be ready at that time. You know, to me,
Yeah,
that's
it's
kind of like
communication.
that's all with communication. That's almost kind of like, all right, so this girl knows what she wants.
Yeah.
You know, it's not. She's not going to do whatever I tell her to do. Basically.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, she won't be. I won't be able to run her over.
Yeah. So we're going to take a break right now. We'll be back with some more red flags, relationship red flags. I'm Orlando Cardenas,
Aaron Lee.
Eddie Mendoza.
and we're the Wolfpack Show.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Wolfpack Show. So what's our next topic we got here?
So the next topic, red flag number 3, he's emotionally weak, needy, and a major pushover.
So, being a major pushover in a relationship can cause problems. Although women would probably be okay with it for a little while, after a while it's going to get old, I would imagine. You know, and I think even for guys too. Like if that's how narcissism starts, I would think. You know, narcissistic behavior starts when you're just able to, you know, push that person and get them to do whatever you want them to do.
Yeah, because
You
you
know.
become a simp.
Exactly.
I think so. Here's the thing with that, right? I feel like a woman of purpose, a woman of value,
Kind of
is
women we're
definitely not gonna like some shit like that.
No, of
for
course
sure.
not. Yeah.
Now, you know, your regular run of the mill female, right? That's not trying to be at that high intensity level is probably gonna be okay with some shit like that.
Okay.
Right. But for a female that's really trying to get out there, really trying to do what she needs to do, I don't think that. I think somebody like that's just definitely not going to work. But
yeah, because
you know.
if he's needy, he's a pushover. You know, he's emotionally weak. That ultimately leads to just a lot of disconnection. You know,
But
women can't connect.
on the same end, though, it's like, does a woman want somebody that's that strong, that's that empowered,
Fuck yeah, they do.
that's that? I mean, you know, and I think that's kind of where,
At least the good ones do.
yeah, right. The women of purpose do,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Well, okay, because there are some women that they like to demean men. You know, it goes back to father wounds and all kinds of trauma bonds and all kinds of stuff like that, where they really do seek out a weaker man.
Sure.
Okay. However, you know, and this is biblical. We were not made. The man was not made to follow. The man was made to lead.
Well, yeah, of course.
And again, I'm not trying to be chauvinistic. I'm just trying to in our roles, you know, in our purpose here on this planet, we're supposed to be a little more forward than our female counterparts.
Sure.
And ultimately they do like it. I mean, don't get me wrong, no one wants an asshole. No one wants somebody to push them around all day long and things like that, especially in a relationship. We should be equal. You know, there is no one better than the other. We just all have our roles, right? But you have to be strong. You stand your ground, because I've known some women that, man, they'll push you and push you and push you. And if you just give, before you know it, you're leaping off the edge. I mean, they push you all the way to the edge of the cliff.
Yeah.
Okay. So the other number 4 that I have is these are Big Daddy's top 10 red flags for the man you're trying to date.
Who's Big
okay?
Daddy?
You know who Big Daddy is. So he is a man child. Man child.
Okay.
Do y'all know what a man child is?
Do explain. No, I don't.
So a man child is a big fucking baby in a man's body. You know, he still has to call mommy for permission. He you know, well, I don't know. Let me see what my mom wants to do. No, you know, stuff like that. I mean, that's a man child. He has no opinion of his own. You know, the woman has to do everything for him.
And we're talking about
Pack
women
his
of value.
clothes. Yeah, women of value, of course. That's the only kind of women I talk about. You know, she's got to pack his shit. She's got to buy his stuff all day long at the store. You know, basically she's got another child. He's a man, but she's got another child.
There
So
are
that's a
women
man
out
child.
there who enable that, though.
Yeah, for sure.
There are women out there who almost enjoy it to a point. You know, there are some, but again, it just depends, you know, on the woman themselves. Now, people like women who are looking for a real man are not going to put up with that sort of thing.
Let me ask you something. Have you ever dated a woman that did everything for you? Absolutely
No.
everything for you.
Never,
How about you, Aaron?
never.
No.
No. I mean, I've had women that cared to me,
most-
took care
most-
of me.
yeah, they
most
offered.
most things, but not fuck. And you know,
Not everything.
dude, that shit is so sad because, you know, I know somebody that's older and they're fucking almost 60s. Wife passed away. Dude was taken care of like that his whole fucking life. Can't even drive into town by himself.
Yeah.
because his wife would be the one to drive him into fucking town.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, can't do, like, doesn't know what the fuck to do. Like, that shit is sad, dude.
Dude, I knew a guy that couldn't even order his own pizza. Because he didn't know how, his
That's
wife,
fucked
again, his
up.
wife up and left him for a real man, but up until then, she did everything for him, right? And, I mean, he didn't even know what kind of crust he got, how do I call, what do I do?
that's fucking
Nothing.
crazy.
I mean, the guy, I said kid because it kind of seemed like it, the guy was literally a toddler in a man's body.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's a man child.
Yeah.
Women, you do
Yeah.
not
That's
want
a
to mess with a
big
man
fucking
child.
red
You
flag.
don't want
That
you
should
don't
be
want
like
that
number
guy.
one on your list,
right?
dude.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, and they're not in order in any way. I
No,
mean,
no,
everybody
yeah.
picks and chooses their own order. But that's one of the big ones for me. Like, I don't want my daughters dating a man child. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Next one is he's passive aggressive. He gives mixed signals and he does not communicate his feelings.
I think that's a lot of guys. I
Passive
think a lot of
aggressive, you
guys
think
passive
so?
aggressive don't discuss their feelings, especially in the Hispanic culture. I mean, you got the whole machismo thing where you're not supposed to show your feelings, you're not supposed to express how you feel, you're supposed to keep it inside and just take care of it, and that's the way it is. Of course, you don't want a crybaby either.
Well, yeah,
but you want to be able to show your emotion. You want to be able to communicate. You want to be able to maybe lean on somebody if you had to.
Sure.
And make yourself vulnerable at certain times. But
Well, okay. So to me, the passive aggressive thing. I mean, it's more of a female thing. But I know some guys that okay, let's say we get in an argument, and you're my wife, or we get in an argument, you're my girlfriend, we get in an argument. Well, when we're walking in, he'll lock the door behind him, even though he knows you're coming in behind him, or he'll forget to take the trash can out because he knows it gets on your nerves. That's something that's passive aggressiveness. Someone that's throwing little jabs at you passively. Does that make sense?
Right.
Which annoys the fuck out of me. I'd rather you come out and just call me a jackass than to throw little hints like that.
And these are all kind of, you're already established in the relationship, kind of moving forward. Because I feel like those items are a little harder to pay attention to from the very beginning.
Not really. I think, honestly, if you see these signs when you're first dating, run.
Got you.
Honestly, run. If you're with a man, if let's say you're dating a guy, if you're dating a guy and all of a sudden, he's got some kind of ill feelings or hurt feelings about something so fucking petty. One, he doesn't tell you about it. Two, he gets his feelings hurt about everything. That's gonna come up.
Acting like a little bitch.
Yeah. I mean, we're all human, and things happen. In a relationship now, if you're in an established relationship, I mean, don't leave the guy just because he didn't communicate with something, something with you, or because he took a passive-aggressive jab at you. But definitely, if you see it in the beginning, which you will see these signs if you're not blind, then obviously take a step back.
Sure.
Especially the lack of communication.
I think also if it becomes a pattern right off the top,
Yeah.
right off the bat, if it becomes a pattern, you need to run.
Yeah, because most red flags they're red for a reason. They're obvious, right? Okay.
What do we got next?
Okay, so next would be he dresses like a slob, hardly ever looks presentable, and is poorly groomed. Okay, that right there to me. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys go in there, but that's a personal thing for me, and I'm gonna explain to you why. But I'll let you guys jump into that one.
Yeah, I mean, you know me, dude. I'm suited up and I get my clothes tailored and I run the full thing as far as my clothes. I don't know. I mean, you gotta look presentable. You gotta take care of yourself. I mean, my thing has always been the first thing people see when you walk into a room is your attire and how you're dressed, right? They don't know your personality. They don't know shit. I've walked into places suited up, totally to the T's, tailored out, and people are like, damn, they think I'm like, they don't know who the hell I am, right? Because
They
just
think
the
you're
way
Pitbull?
I'm Pitbull, just the way I'm dressed. So that's definitely very important. What do you think, Eddie?
I think that it's good to be presentable, obviously. For me, it's been a little hard lately because I've lost about 100 pounds in the past year. So
You need to get a tailor.
I'm constantly, and I've been losing weight for the past 6 months. I'm still going. So still on that journey. So it's, I'm constantly having to buy clothes, sell clothes, buy clothes, sell clothes. It's a good problem to have. But I do the best with what I have. Yeah. At that
I'm
time.
going to give you an example, personal example. One, okay, first, I was raised by an Army Ranger. Okay, so when my dad, he does it to this day. I just went to go visit him yesterday. The first thing he would do, he would look at you from head to toe, and back and forth. And our stuff had to be lined up all the time. Iron pressed. And my mom used to always say also, it doesn't matter if you're a big guy or if you're poor, you need to press your stuff. Like there is no excuse for that, you know. And again, it's not a personal attack on any of you guys out there. This is just a red flag to me. Because if his clothes aren't pressed, his booty hole's gonna smell. And when you all get funky,
Wow.
trust me, it's gonna smell.
we went there,
No,
huh?
I'm gonna go there because I'm gonna keep that shit real. I am not trying to fucking make anybody happy. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's just like a restaurant. If you go to the restaurant and the restroom is dirty,
Oh, hell yeah.
the fucking kitchen's
Yeah.
dirty, and I'm
Fuck
not eating
yes.
there.
No, fuck
But
yeah.
again,
Yeah.
personal hygiene is a big thing. I was just on a retreat with a guy, and I gave the guy hell because I'm a big guy, right? But I'm a big sexy motherfucker. So I when I got to my room, I put all my stuff out, my colognes, my creams, my nail clippers, the whole 9 yards, the brushes. I don't have a lot of hair, but I'll brush what I have up there, right? I got trimmed shit up, So, and I looked over on his side of the bed, and my bunk's nice and tight up and real nice and neat and all that good stuff. I look over there. There's like 10 people are laying in that bed over there. And I said, dude, we're not going to stay like that for the next 4 days. Okay. And not only that, I noticed he had no hygiene products other than deodorant. Okay, I get it. We're guys. We used to be cavemen, but Neanderthals, whatever. But hey, shit has evolved.
Yeah,
Like
that's
I
what
get
I'm
my
saying.
nails done. I'm get my toes done. I put cream on my body. I'm not all walking around all ashy and stuff. I take care of myself. I iron my stuff. My shoes are always clean. Or shined. I send my shit to the dry cleaners. My shit's tight, just like you said. Now I lived in Austin for 11 years. Austin, Texas is a different beast compared to San Antonio.
Yeah.
Austin, nobody irons their shit over there.
No.
And they shop in thrift stores. Like they don't shop, get things off the rack. The older and the more vintage, the better for them. That's the cooler thing. But again, to me that's a red flag. That
Sure.
he dresses like a slob. He has no indication that he wants to look tight and clean or nothing like that. And his hygiene is poor. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and take a break. Before we take a break, I would like to thank our sponsors, Executive Transport, limo services. If you guys are looking for a limo service, Executive Transport are the one for you. And we also want to thank our bar sponsor, Bar 321 over on 321 Main in San Antonio, Texas. Thank you guys for being our sponsors. We appreciate you guys making this happen. We're going to take a break. We'll come back. Okay, guys, so we're back, and we thank you for watching the Wolfpack show. Once again, I'm Orlando. We've got Aaron. We've got Mr. Eddie here. Right now, we're talking about red flags. This segment is actually red flags in relationships, and right now, in particular, we're talking about the red flags that women you should be looking for when it comes to the men that you're dating or trying to date. Okay, the next subject, guys, or the next red flag for me is that he plays video games and or watches TV shows incessantly.
Okay.
Yeah. I actually have personal experience with that. My daughter was dating a guy who all he did was play video games, and he just wasn't contributing. And of course, you can't make your children, date who you don't want them to date. They're going to date who they want to date. But for what I was told by my daughters, that it's not a big deal to walk into a guy's house and see a PlayStation or an Xbox or them computer gaming. Like it's some women actually like the little computer nerds nowadays.
Okay.
I guess to each his own, but
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
but if they're not doing anything else but that,
Yeah. I
that's
mean, is that your
huge
job?
red
Is that how
flag.
you support your family?
Yeah,
'Cause, I
that-
mean, there are people that make money, playing games. So
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it's a generational thing, man.
yeah, definitely.
Maybe it's something we don't understand. I don't know, but
I don't think I want to understand that, though.
There's just something about like killing your time with shit that is not productive and is not going to take you to another level. That's just it's heartbreaking because it's like, dude, what are you doing with your life? You're spending all this time. We're only given one life, man, and life is so short. Definitely me. These last 2 years have been death has been all around.
Yeah.
So for something like that to be wasting your time, is definitely not good. And then it's like it all goes back to the topic that you had, before, or one of the previous ones. It's like if they're going to be continuously doing that, what is a woman doing in the house? What's her role?
Yeah, in other words, having a purpose, finding a man with a purpose. Or
What is her role? Is her role going to be having to take care of everything and having to baby this man because he's sitting there playing fucking video games all day?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, it's cool. Like, I think we talked to producer Brandon earlier, and he asked, "Well, when is it okay to do that?" I was like, "Well, on Sunday when all your shit is done.
Yep.
You know, or in the evening when everything's done, you know, when it's an all-day thing and if it's not your job, you're not a gamer. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking gamers.
Right.
Motherfuckers make money. You know, some of them do really well in those competitions and stuff. And if you're doing that, well, then this one doesn't apply to you or your
more
guy.
power
But
to you.
but if you just sitting around smoking weed, you know, drinking Mountain Dew Red or whatever the fuck they call it nowadays, but, you know, and just playing games and watching shows all day long, that's not a good thing. You know,
Right.
or even if he just comes home straight home and just goes straight for that. There's a lot of things that as a man we have to be doing. You know, car washing, making dinner, cleaning the house. I mean, there's a lot of things we can do to contribute to the household other than wasting it on that.
Right.
You know. Okay.
No, I agree.
So, okay. Next topic is he's lazy and inactive. All right. There's a lot of gray area in that, but I'll let you go first.
I mean,
You're
I'm
like,
probably
what's lazy?
I'm probably the wrong person to ask first about that because I'm very active, very
Yeah,
you know. I mean, and that to me, it's like I'll be working out 7 days a week, and I'll think that that's not fucking enough, so I'll go 2 times,
Yeah.
7 days
Well,
a fucking
and
week.
it shows.
It's-
You know, the proof is in the pudding.
But it's like, I mean, so
no
what are we
pudding.
talking about inactive? I mean, what can you elaborate on that a little?
Yeah,
bit?
sure. So inactive meaning, again, going home and just sitting down and doing nothing.
Got you.
You know, the wife asks or the girlfriend asks, you know, or the potential girlfriend says, "Hey, let's go do something." I know. When in talking to Norma, our producer or executive producer, you know, she mentioned one time that she dated a guy and the guy worked and then literally went home and just slept after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, okay, you work 8 hours, but guys like me work 16 hours a day because that's what we're
Yeah,
doing.
sure.
Guys like you know, that's our hustle. You know, some guys work 10 hours a day and they still go home and, you know, work on the house, cut the grass. I mean, there's still shit that's got to get done.
Yeah.
You know, even at the very least, saying, hey, you know what? I have some free time. I'm not going to sit around and do nothing. Hey, let's go for a walk.
Yeah.
Let's go hang out. You know, do you have to do anything? You want to go to the store? You know, run errands with your girl because, you know, before you know it, the day's gone and you just lost that opportunity.
I definitely get that. And me, like when I was a trainer back in 2005, but I remember having a client that wanted to get in better shape, wanted to get themselves to that point, but the wife just like was like fucking against it, dude. She didn't want to do shit. She always had a problem with him being at the gym and all this. And that, I think that's going to create a whole different show for us. It's like when you're already in that situation, how the fuck do you change shit? Do you just call it off? You've been married for fucking 13 years and your wife doesn't want you to go to the gym and like work out, dude. Like again, it goes back to
It really
the
depends.
one life thing. How you gonna be fucking unhealthy?
Yeah.
In this one life that you have, be a fucking Spartan. You
Yeah.
know, be in shape, kick ass throughout life.
I've seen.
Hard.
I mean, it depends because I've seen guys and girls, you know, that they want to lose weight because for some reason now they're interested in somebody at work or whatever. And I hate to say it, but it happens. That shit
Yeah.
happens all the time.
Yeah.
You know, what's your motivation? If your motivation is because, well, I really want to get healthy for the family, well then let's support one another. You know,
Right.
that's one of my goals and one of my dreams. Okay, I'm gonna support your dream, and because we're in a relationship, what you want to better yourself with. Same thing with going to church or, you know,
Yeah.
hanging
Yeah.
out with the family or whatever.
Yeah.
If you want to do it, okay, I'm in it. I'm in with you,
Right.
in it with you. So let's do it together. You know.
It's hard, man. And I know for me, like one of the show topics I want to do coming up pretty soon is, and I posted all over my TikTok, is like that relationship that you're in right now is holding you back from your highest potential. And I know you've seen that. I posted that.
Sure.
And this goes hand in hand with that, man. It's like if they're holding you back from getting to where you want to get to, is it really worth having that relationship?
Well, and I'm talking more, and that's going to be a good topic, I'm sure. But I'm talking more late when it comes to laziness. I'm talking about, well, I'm in this chair, and the water's over there, and I can't reach. You know, I don't have rubber hands.
Right.
Hey, but while you're up, can you get me that water? Or hey, Orlando, you know, do you mind, you know, feeding the dogs? Like, I don't want to do it because I'm lazy and I don't want to get off my chair.
I get you.
That type of stuff. You know, that to me, that laziness, that inactivity is like, I'm planning it here. You know, the couch literally has a groove of my ass and molded into it
Sure.
because that's all I do. Like, even the couch knows that's my place, right? To me, I mean, Eddie see me. He knows when I get home, what do I do?
You find something to do.
Yeah, even if there's nothing to do, I'm always doing something. And I don't want it to be about me, but you know what? I honestly know that as a man of value, these are some of the habits that I have that make me a man of value, or make Aaron or Eddie men of value, because we don't go home and just do that. I'm gonna rest when I'm dead. I promise you that. That's a guarantee.
Yeah, absolutely.
So until then, I need to be productive. And as many things as I have going on, and each and every day, if I have to get up early and I have to go to sleep early just to be able to finish 80% of those things.
Sure.
I can only imagine if I was lazy and I didn't want to do a lot of stuff. So, but okay. So here's number 9. All right. He's uncomfortable around other men.
Oh yeah, I think that's important to show that that you're confident in yourself, and not only yourself but your relationship. I've never been the type of guy that if I see a guy looking at my woman, I'm like, what the fuck are you looking at?
Yeah.
I've never been that guy.
Okay.
Now there's a fine line. Are you staring to the point where you're burning a hole in her ass?
You're indressing
Then,
her with your eyes.
Yeah, that's something completely different.
Sure.
But I've never been that type. As a matter of fact, I kind of take it as a compliment.
Yeah, of course.
She's with me.
Yeah.
And she's going home with me.
Exactly.
So eat your heart out, basically.
There you go. Yeah,
That's
okay.
what I
See,
look at.
and that's good. That confidence level is really good.
Right.
Because again, we can't control who looks at us or who looks at them or
Exactly.
whatever. Now we don't want someone flat out doing the whole eye contact thing.
Right.
We're not stupid, right? We're not going to be taken for fools. But like you said, it's a compliment to us.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that the women that we pick or the men that they pick, we know that they're attractive because that's why we picked them to begin with. So of course we want some kind of result.
that is a really big red flag, dude. I mean, I know females that like will be sitting next to somebody at a job or work or to do something for work, and their boyfriend is just like not having it, like accusing her of all kinds of shit.
Yeah, because and here's why they're uncomfortable. Here's what the psyche's going on. What's going on in the psyche? He's uncomfortable around other men because he feels lesser than another
he's
man.
insecure.
Right? Yeah, he's
absolutely.
insecure about himself, and if he doesn't like being around other men, it's because he doesn't want to level up.
Right.
And if he doesn't want to level up, it's because he's comfortable in his mediocrity, and he's not going to want to do anything with it. He's just what you got is what you have, and that's what you're going to get.
Well, he also has those other red flags probably that you mentioned.
For sure, yeah.
Underneath him, under his belt. So
yes,
yeah, that definitely plays a
yeah,
part.
and one goes with the other. Usually
Right.
these are all like this is
Yeah, they
probably
go hand
one
in hand,
person.
yeah.
Yeah. So
I think I know that
Okay,
person.
yeah. So okay, he doesn't give his full presence to those he's with. That's my number 10.
Always on the phone?
Yeah, always on the
Always
phone.
on the phone, not ever present. There's a birthday party going on, or maybe you invite him to lunch. Quite often he can't be there for whatever reason. He just doesn't make time for you.
Right.
I mean, that's a, I don't know, that's a little hard, bro. Because me as a man that owns, multiple businesses, bro, sometimes it's hard for me to get it to a certain place on time. Here for one place
We've noticed.
to be one. 2, phones always going off. Deals. I just lost a freaking deal this weekend, dude. Clients went with somebody else because I was busy with family and couldn't answer my phone. So
Okay.
that's one of those things. I mean,
See, and that's the rare exception. There's not a lot of guys that are as busy as guys like us,
Yeah.
right? That's kind of like the 1% of the population of men, right? But what I'm kind of doing the whole red flag thing towards is the guy that has the time, but
Right.
does not invest that time
Gotcha.
into the people that matter to him.
Yeah.
That guy, he's just like, no, I'm just going to do me. And I know that's important to you, but it's not important to me. And if it's not important to that person, then why do you want to invest your time into that guy? I mean, that's something that you really want to think about.
Well, one of my pet peeves is to go to dinner with somebody and then they're on their phone while I'm sitting there. I usually will keep my phone in my pocket or leave it in my car or something because I don't want to be bothered by it. This is a time that I've set aside to be with this particular person for a reason, and I don't want my phone to get in the way of that.
Yeah, because you're a busy man and your time is valuable.
And even though the person I'm with may do it, it's still pet peeve. I don't like it, but at the same time, I can't control what other people do.
Sure you can. Tell her to get the fuck off.
Yeah. Be a man. Don't be a pushover. Be
Yeah,
like, hey,
dude.
dude, we're going to have a nice dinner here.
It's sad because I'll go to a restaurant and I'll see even 2 older people, and you can tell they've probably been in a relationship forever, and they're just like, or the 2 kids are on a tablet or phone, and the parents are on fucking phones. It's like,
Yeah.
What's the
what
point?
we come to, man?
Yeah, what's the point of being together? And don't get me wrong, I mean, we go to lunch together, and we all take time to jump on our phones real quick because an email's coming through or text message or whatever. We're businessmen. We got to take care of shit.
Sure.
But we do it. We get back on and we get back into our conversation.
Right.
We still make time for it, and plus we're together all the time.
Yeah.
I think it's important too that the person that you're with, because they know that you're so busy, that they support that. Just like you know, if you got deals to make, you may lose that deal if you don't answer that phone.
Yeah,
And I think that other person that you're with has to be understanding of that.
Yeah.
You know, if you're in a relationship with somebody, you know, they have to be understanding. Well, you know what, he's an important guy. He's an important businessman. He needs to take those calls,
Yeah.
and I have to understand that because,
Yeah.
you know, that's how he's providing for us.
For sure.
I've had where I've talked to females, you know, and we would like, you know, dating or whatever. And here I am having to answer, and I'm like, and I tell her, I'm like, look, dude, I'm having to, you know, this is what I have to do. I try to be upfront, and then here we go, you know, the night ends, and they're like, well, you're on your fucking phone the whole time, and I'm like, dude, like,
Yeah,
red
you-
flag.
But, well, okay, so here's the thing. Yes, on the female side, you know, or even a guy that dates a busy woman, you know, that's busy like us, right? You do have, there has to be a level of understanding where this person is saying to you, I'm a busy person. Don't get me wrong, you're very important to me. But you have to understand that if you want the kind of lifestyle I can provide, it's going to come with some
There's a cost.
distractions.
Exactly,
There's a
yeah.
Yeah,
cost,
there's going to be
There's
some
always a
distractions
cost.
there. However, if I'm not that guy, and I'm on my phone because I'm, you know, playing
Yeah.
what I don't even know what kind of games are out, Candy Crush or whatever the hell they're out there now.
think
I'm so
so.
behind the times when it comes
Yeah,
to
that's
shit like
old,
that.
bro.
You know, but yeah, so because I'm doing this or I'm constantly on, you know, the TikTok or
Centipede.
on you know Facebook or whatever, well then that's a red flag. You know, I don't want to be in a relationship where that person's constantly on social
Yeah.
media.
Yeah.
It's like, unless you're an influencer and you're getting paid to do that, then by all means, I'll take the fucking picture for you, right?
Yeah.
But if you're not an influencer and you're not making money doing that, I want my time.
Yeah, for
But I'm going to give you my time as well, right? So look, guys, we don't want you guys to think, and women, ladies, I know we're kind of hard on you, ladies. You know, with some of the red flags, a lot of red flags. No one ever wants to understand or think that they're doing something wrong. Same thing with the guys. You know, guys, ladies, just so you see, we're a lot harder on the guys to begin with, right? Because we're guys and we know what we should and shouldn't be doing. Okay, so if anything, we're giving you guys our point of view as far as if he's doing these things, you're not that important to him, right? But it's a little harsh. Sometimes it's hard to hear these things, and we don't want to hear these things. But if you want to have a productive, long-lasting relationship with purpose, some of these are things that you have to knock out of your life. You
gotta
just can't
face it.
have them.
You gotta face it.
Yeah, you got to again. You got to face them. You got to say, okay, you know what? They made a point. I do go. I work and go straight home and I do nothing. Or you know, so one of these red flags. If it touched you, hey, maybe that's the universe talking to you and telling you, maybe I need to stop doing that, right? Or we can just be full of shit, and who knows, you know. But again, we're not the player hater club here. We're not trying to hate on everybody. We're just trying to give you guys
Some
a little
value.
insight to how to be a high value man or a high value woman, and how to stay away from those toxic red flags and toxic relationships. You know that lead to just the whole toxic cycle. Round and round you go. A lot of times these relationships just manifest in other relationships, and it's always because the same red flags are present.
Yep.
Right?
And I think that because we've hit all those red flags, you know, we probably have some women out there who are looking at their man up and down as they're listening, that's going,
You're talking about you, fucker.
yeah, talking about you, asshole. So,
Yeah.
Yep.
Or it could be the guy looking at
Or the
girl,
guy
like,
looking at the
hey,
girl.
he's talking about you, girlfriend.
Yeah.
Save yourself a shit ton of worry and energy down the line by like really just paying attention for the future and doing what you need to do and making wise decisions when it comes to picking somebody you're going to be with, because there's a lot of situations you're in. I was in one not too long ago that will fucking get you really caught up. You need to
Yeah, for
just
sure.
pay attention,
And
dude.
here's the thing. You're not the one that's going to change him, especially if he's our age
Oh,
already.
yeah, no.
You're not going to change him.
Yeah,
You
for
know,
sure.
if he won't change himself for you, or she won't change herself for you, you're not the one. You're not the one that they want to be with. Because look, we've all seen the memes and heard the TikToks and the videos where they say, you'll change for the right person. You'll respond to the right person. You'll look for the right person. If you're super attracted to somebody, you will seek them out on
No,
your
that's
own,
bullshit.
right? That's the truth. They're gonna change for you if they really care for you. But if you have to force it, they're not gonna change for you. And if you see these red flags right now, I'm telling you, from my point of view, run. And if I am wrong about any of my red flags, I'll give you your money back, guaranteed. All right, you get my money back, guarantee on that one.
I think you're spot on, because as I listen to them, those are red flags that I've done. You know, I did between the ages of 18 to now, I'm 47. I've done some of those. I was some of those red flags at one point. I had my PlayStation thrown out the front door of my house one time with my ex-wife because I wasn't paying attention to her.
What's a PlayStation?
Yeah, it's one of those. So, the original PlayStation, I might add.
Damn.
So yeah, now looking back at it, I'm thinking, that was kind of a dick move. At first I was kind of a dick move. She did that, but now I understand why she did it. And I was probably 23, 24 at the time that she did it.
Old enough to know better.
Old enough to know better, and also already a father at the same time.
Okay.
And I was doing that. So yeah, I mean, to sit here and tell my daughters don't date guys like this, I feel like a little bit of a hypocrite because I was that guy. But I'm only telling because I knew the trials and tribulations that my ex-wife went through with me, having to deal with it when she didn't have to.
Yeah.
Ultimately, she didn't. She didn't because she divorced me. But
yeah, it takes a lot to admit these things,
right?
But what did you say at the end? She what?
She did divorce me.
Okay, but see, that's exactly what we're trying to avoid
Save
here.
yourself
And
time.
save yourself some time. Divorce is fucking expensive.
One life.
Yeah, and the thing is, we're trying to avoid you guys from having to go through all that nonsense and all that all that misery, because at one point in time it turns into a miserable situation.
Exactly.
Right. So again, we take it for what it's worth. We're just three guys here giving our own personal opinion, the male perspective. We're not trying to be chauvinistic in any way, but a lot of times this new generation or this world, they really don't want to hear the truth.
No.
But I'm one of those guys. Don't tell me what I want to hear. Tell me what I need to hear.
Sure.
Exactly.
And you guys know me as a personal friend. Sometimes you're like, shut the fuck up. You don't want to hear this stuff from me.
Right.
But it needs to be said because I love you and you love me and you tell me stuff all the time. And if you don't have a circle of friends that forces you to level up, whether directly or indirectly, then you need to get new friends, right?
Yeah. I think you're doing a great disservice if you don't do that, especially the people that you love or that you call your close friends and your best friends. That sort of
Absolutely. So we are the Wolfpack Show. Once again, we want to thank our sponsors, Bar 321 over on 321 Main in San Antonio, Texas. We had an awesome launch party there. We want to thank you guys that came out to the show as well, to the launch party as well. We want to thank all you guys and girls for supporting our show. We're only going to grow with your support, your love, and your, of course, your likes and your shares. That means a lot in the social media world. We want to thank Executive Transport for providing our limousine service. Yes, we do travel in limousines from time to time. We get a little bougie, but I think we've earned the right. And we want to we want to thank our staff. We've got executive producer Norma Luna. We've got associate producer Mr. Brandon Welch, and we've got Randy Martinez, our videographer and design guru over at Random Works Photography. Thank you guys all. I'm Orlando Cardenas. I want to thank Mr. Eddie and Mr. Aaron. You guys want to do your sign off?
Thank you very much for watching and listening.
Cool, guys. Yeah, thanks for checking us out again. Don't forget to like and share our pages. We really appreciate you guys. Once again, we are the Wolfpack Show, and we'll see you guys next time.
Goodbye.
Thanks.